and do some different things. So there's a lot of things that we didn't, because the conditions were unable to do. And but we look at what we were able to do tonight. Was run some run plays and change things up with that. And I think we did a good job. I think guys on the outside really took a heart going out and blocking the way they did. And man, really have to commend them for that and thank them for that.
Because of the conditions, were you fully prepared to throw as few passes as you did and to throw practically none? So
I mean, that's part of it. The games like that, it sucks. Coming out, in the game today, you have the mindset you're either going to have the funnest game you've ever had before. Come out here and play in the rain, or you're going to have the most miserable time. And today, I wanted to have the most fun time, and that's what we were doing as an offense. We thought that was going to be the thing that would be most successful for us. There are a lot of times during it, just didn't feel comfortable throwing the football. It was just the rain just never stopped. We'd put a new ball in there, and it'd sit there for 15 seconds, and then man, it just water up, and man, it's tough. It's really frustrating for a quarterback, but you understand what it is, and you got to do your part in the run game as well.
Because of that and those conditions, and you having to change things up, some of the offensive concerns that were there before this game, in that sense, are they sort of still there, maybe going into the bye week and before?
There's not anything for us really to think about. It's just, hey, this is what we did good this week, was coming out running physical. We did a great job. Guys on the perimeter did a great job of blocking, and we came out with a 21-point win versus a very good SEC East opponent.
What did you say about the funnest? I just caught the end of that.
Yeah, you gotta have the mindset in games like this. Where it just never stops raining. It's a little bit cold. You're either gonna have the funnest game you've ever had before, or you're gonna have the most miserable time. Tonight, a lot of guys chose to have the most fun.
If you were out hunting, would you hunt in that?
It's tough. We'd probably be hog hunting. That's what we'd be doing, or duck hunting. Yeah, I've done it many times.
How much does it affect you playing out there in the rain like this? Did you play like this in high school?
Tough. I played a little bit of a rain game in high school, and it was it would drizzle, and then it would kind of let up, and tonight was tough. It just never stops.
How do you prepare for it though? With that, do y'all ever practice 2-3 hours in the rain?
Yeah. No. You do wet ball drills during certain periods of practice, and sometimes it helps. It helps a little bit, but man, it's just really frustrating at times to pick up a ball and I'm gonna throw it in that direction, but I have no idea where it's going.
Jake, I know the conditions played a part tonight.
Sometimes it was like that. Yeah, there were times when you get a fresh ball in, you felt good about it, and there were other times where balls would be out there for a couple plays, and it's tough.
I know the conditions played a part tonight with the passing game, but how comfortable are you just with DeAndre, and if he has to be the workhorse until your offense kind of gets ironed out?
Yeah, DeAndre, he's always been the guy. He's a great playmaker for us in our offense, and he did a great job showing that tonight and coming out. He many times tonight he put the team on his back and he ran with it.
People are going to talk and say what's still wrong with Georgia as far as vertically and stuff like that. Do you think tonight was more about the conditions? I know y'all did do a couple of those.
Yeah, man, tonight was tough. If you've never done it, go out and try it, man. It's tough.
Jake, the conditions not ideal, but the last two games, it's just not the offense that we've seen, at the beginning of the season. So what can you pinpoint is the difference?
I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about tonight. We came out, played physical football. We knew that's what it was going to be. It wasn't going to be a beauty contest. It was going to come out and be a ground and pound, and just because the way the conditions were, and guys did a good job responding to that.
Not having Cager out there, is that a difference for you?
Cager, he's a great football player for us and a great playmaker for us. He does a lot of good things for us, and sometimes it's tough, not having him out there. But a lot of guys are stepping up in that role and taking advantage of that.
As a leader of this team, what are you saying to these guys?
For us, it's, man, let's go out and be us. Don't listen to any outside noise. Don't worry about anything you can't control. It's about us in that locker room and us coaches and how we go out and play, and that's what we're worried about.
Jake, how difficult is it to find rhythm in this kind of game with this kind of weather?
Yeah. It's tough. Going into it, it's just going to be kind of a ground and pound game, and you have to accept that. And guys really have to take that as kind of a chip on their shoulder, and let's go out and execute.
But what happened in the second half that kind of helped you all build that rhythm?
Got a turnover and got good field position, and we were able to capitalize that and made a big play.
Jake, what are you guys are after 7 games, and what do you think you still can be offensively?
Yeah, there's a lot of things we still can be. Because of the conditions, we didn't get to do some things we wanted to do on offense, and that's part of it. But guys responded to the kind of game it was, and I think that's more important than anything. It's not, hey, what do we not do? It's, hey, what did we do? And I think that's what we have to look at, and I think we did what we did well.
It did look like y'all tried to do some different things with the running game today. Maybe you haven't shown too much of this year. You think that was the case?
I think guys just said, hey, really we just wanted to put it on our back and say, hey, this is what we're going to do, line up and stop it, and eventually those body blows just keep adding up, and the physicality of the game just kind of took over in our favor.
And what was the feeling of relief like when DeAndre finally broke that touchdown?
Oh man, that was awesome. Man, he put the team on his back during that run and made a great play.
Do you think he had a point this week when what he said publicly about we'd like to go more vertical? The rain notwithstanding tonight, when DeAndre was talking about the offense and the little tweaks that y'all could make getting better.
Yeah,
I mean, he has the right to say that.
Yeah, I mean he's a big time player for us in our offense, and for him to want to say that, I mean that's perfectly fine. We want to get better any way we can at practice, and I mean we're gonna do all we can, and some things we could do tonight, and some things we couldn't, and I think what we did well.
Why didn't you keep it on some of those runs?
Some aren't designed, and to be honest with you, it's a lot better in their hands than in my hands.
What did you think of the boos, Jake? Did that bother you on any level? Did you hear them? Are you conscious of them when it's going on?
Wasn't paying attention, just trying to figure out what we could do in the second half to get better.
A couple times in the first half, you pulled down the ball on passes. Was that out of being uncomfortable, or was somebody just not open?
You take a 3-step drop, and you're like, man, it's not feeling right in my hands, and guys aren't as open as you want them to be, and you try to make up with any kind of yards with your legs.
It looked like you threw a pass to Kiaris on the sideline. That was the last one for a long time that y'all threw. Did you say anything to coaches that you weren't comfortable, or?
Yeah, many times during the night, there'd be some times where, hey, coach, the ball's like just feeling super slick right now, and sometimes it wasn't. You're feeling good, but just kind of part of the game. It is what it is.
Was this weather a factor in not throwing the ball as much in the third quarter, or was that you just being uncomfortable of it, or was it because my gosh, we're going to run this thing?
Yeah, I mean it was definitely a big part in the game, and not being able to throw it as well as we wanted to. I mean it was tough, and the ball was super slippery out there tonight, and we just said, hey, it's just going to be kind of a ground and pound game, and you just have to accept it.
How is this team ready for a top 10 matchup with Florida now?
Yeah, let's go. We're going to get better during the bye week, and just get better at a lot of different things, and we're going to be ready to go. When did you know it would be ground and pound? Was it like 2 or 3 hours before the game? I mean, did you have to scrap a lot of stuff that you guys planned during the week? Yeah, we knew what the conditions were going to be. We just didn't know how bad they were going to be. So those first couple drives, things were okay. Things were kind of good, and the later and later it got, just the rain never stopped. Balls kept getting wetter and wetter, and you had to say, hey, coach, some things just ain't gonna fly, and some things we felt comfortable with, and we just had to go with that. And a lot of the kind of passing game kind of got scrapped there, and it's just part of it, part of the game.
You come out here and grab a 21-point win, but the buzz is going to be you didn't score any touchdowns in the first half. Is there any concern on your part about where you guys are as a passing game, as an offense?
I mean, we want to start faster, but that's just the nature of the football game. I mean, it is what it is. That's just part of it. I mean, sometimes that happens, and but with the conditions the way they were, man, I mean, I'm thankful to come out here with a win.
But obviously, on the heels of last week, the narrative, the storyline out there is that Georgia's offense is not doing what people expected.
I think we're in a good position and a good part of our offense. I mean, we're not worried about what the outside noise is saying. I mean, we worried about, hey, the guys on offense, and hey, what can we do to go out there and get better? And I think at times we did that tonight. I mean, maybe we wanted to start a little bit faster, but that's just part of the game we were in, and we accepted that.
The expectations here have been so big because of the success y'all have had over the last, 40 games. How do you live up to y'all's expectations? What are the internal expectations as it relates to going out there every Saturday?
I mean, for us, we want to win every football game we're in, and we want to do the best we can with that, and not worried about what people are trying to put on top of us. It's about us in that locker room and what we want to be.
Can you recall what Kirby said when he was kind of running down when that bad punt happened? He was very energetic towards the offense, and y'all were kind of jogging on the field.
Yeah, I mean, he was trying to get us going, trying to go out and make a play. It was one of the times we kind of got good field position, and we were ready to respond and make a play.
Jake, I guess I have to ask you, when's the last time you played a game with that few yards? Obviously, the conditions in the game mode had a lot to do with it, but it's been a while since there's been that sort of game.
Yeah, tough. That's just part of the game we were in. The rain just never seemed to stop, and it is what it is, and you have to ground and pound it sometimes.
How do you lead in that situation, when it's that kind of smash mouth game where the smallest error can turn into 7 points quickly?
Yeah, that's just the nature of the game. Part of it, for me, is hey, how can I get the other 10 guys going on offense and make sure we're in the right run play and make sure everybody's accounted for and blocked a certain way? Because if that's what it is, I'm going to have to do that as my role the best I can.
It looked like you did get the ball downfield a few times to Pickens. I mean, how much of it was just the conditions versus the comfort level with them, wanting to smash mouth it?
Yeah, it was tough at times being able to throw the ball just because just how wet it was. It just never felt like the rain never seemed to stop, and part of it.
When did you know that y'all were in good shape on the run game? I mean, was it coming out in the second half or midway through the third?
Yeah,
it changed dramatically at some point.
Yeah, I think the turnover and the big run there, for the touchdown, really kind of got him, and it was just kind of a dagger for him. And guys just started blocking on the perimeter. Not that they weren't in the beginning, but it just really kind of seemed to kind of add up. All those body blows there in the first half just seemed to kind of add up, and we did a good job running the football.
How do you keep your poise, Jake? I mean, I know you never worry too much about the outside world, but coming out of an uncharacteristic game like that against South Carolina, I mean, what keeps you on the rails?
Yeah, for me, it's knowing who I am and where my identity lies. What I do is I play football. I'm a hunter. I'm a student. That's what I do. Who I am, I'm a child of God, and I'm a brother. I'm a son of my dad, and that's kind of who I am. So it's a lot of kind of reeling back in. And man, I love this game, and I want to give the game everything I can, and I want to glorify my God doing that.
Thanks.